Yeah. Hey, we'll take Thursday, March 24th, as we're going to get into our stuff with Theseus today. Completed Blue Review Guide is due next Thursday. It is worth 4 homeworks, and then Camp Sure to Order Form is also due next Thursday, April 31st. Download the story for today, which is Theseus. I'll try to get through as much of it as I can. All right, and then we're to there. Once again, to cover information from before, apparently kids were surprised to find out that a bull is a male moo-moo. And so to cover that with you, a bull is a male moo-moo. In the story of Europa, that was in the Poor Women story, it dealt with the fact that Zeus took the form of a giant white bull in order to prevent Hera from finding out about his friendliness with Europa. And then Europa rode on his back, and they took off running all over the world trying to find a place for friendliness. And that way Hera could not find them. After they got done running all over the place, they eventually stopped in a place that's not focusing well. Focus. Stopped in a place called Crete, which is an island out in the middle of the Mediterranean. And there they were finally able to be together without Hera finding them, and the friendliness happened. But while Europa was on his back and they were going all over the world, the area that Europa traveled over was named after her. And that part of the world is now called
Europe.
And that's where we got the word Europe from. After Zeus and Europa were friendly, Zeus then leaves. And Europa gives birth to a baby by the name of Minos. And things go well. Hera has no idea that Minos exists. It's one of the few times where it seems to escape Hera's attacks. Minos grows up to become the king of this island of Crete. And he is a son of Zeus. Things go well, till one day, as the king... I have no pocket. One day, as the king of Crete, there's a knock on the big castle door. And when he goes to open it, opens the door, Poseidon is standing there. And Poseidon goes, hey, little buddy, got a little problem going on. And Minos goes, what's going on? Poseidon goes, you've not been sacrificing to me at all, and I find that a little on the insulting side. Minos goes, well, I'm kind of the son of Zeus, so I don't really have to sacrifice to a lot of people because of the whole son of Zeus thing. Poseidon goes, I understand, but to me, of all gods, you should definitely be sacrificing to. And why should Minos be sacrificing to Poseidon?
It's not an island.
Yeah, he's like, listen, you're on an island. Kind of insulting to me. But I understand, son of Zeus. How about we come to a compromise? Minos goes, what kind of compromise are you thinking of? Poseidon goes, how about I give you the animal, and then all you have to do is make a big ceremony and then sacrifice it back to me. That way I get to brag to my friends, and then you get to have this thing, and you and I get to be all good, and I get to do favors for you. And it's sort of a win-win situation. How does that sound? Minos goes, all right, I'm in. What is it you want me to sacrifice? Poseidon goes, well, your mom was kidnapped from when Zeus was in a bull form. So how about we go ahead and give you a gigantic white bull? Minos goes, ooh, that sounds kind of cool. So Poseidon snaps his fingers, and out of the water walks a gigantic white bull with golden horns. And he goes stomping up onto the ground. Stompy, stompy, stompy. This is the size of like a small bus. And Minos goes, ooh, that's an impressive cow. Poseidon goes, not only that, he's super duper friendly. And the cow goes, moo, and it starts purring, moo, moo, moo. Rolls over on his back and kicks his little cow legs up into the air. Minos goes over and scratches his belly. That little cow leg starts going. He's like, it is a friendly cow. Poseidon goes, I wouldn't lie to you. He goes, the next time it's a full moon, that's the day I want you to sacrifice the bull to me, make a big ceremony out of it, we'll call it a good deal. Does that work for you? Minos goes, all right, that works for me. So Poseidon goes back into the water, and the bull wanders around on Crete. Everyone falls in love with the bull. He's super friendly. Kids go around riding on his back. They tie little ropes to the horns. They go like little rope swings. The bull's like, roar, roar. And the kids go swinging around. They get to give him little belly rubs and stuff like that. Things are wonderful. Minos is married to a girl by the name of Pasiphae, Queen Pasiphae, Mrs. Minos. And Queen Pasiphae really falls in love with the bull, to the point that she has this inventor by the name of Daedalus build for her a gigantic fake bull that she can hide inside of it, sort of like a Trojan bowl, and she can sit inside this big wooden bowl with little eye holes in it, a little bowl of popcorn, and she can just sort of watch the bull as it prances around in the meadows. Prancy, prancy, prancy. And she's like, it's the coolest thing ever. I could use some air conditioning, but it's pretty cool. And she really falls in love with the bull. Ends up naming it Freddy, because that's a really good bull name. And so names it Freddie. The days go by until it becomes time for the big ceremony. They start building this big ceremony, big bull killing, I don't know, whatever you kill bulls, stabbing place. And everything is ready for the day of the killing when Pasiphae goes to see King Minos. And she goes, honey, I've got a problem. Minos goes, what's wrong, Pasiphae? And she goes, well, you know how we're supposed to kill Freddie? And Minos goes, who? Who's killing? What's Freddie? She goes, that's the name of the bull. And he goes, you named the bull Freddie? And she's like, it's a good name. And he's like, you're a weird lady. And she goes, yeah. She goes, but I don't want to kill him because I've really fallen in love with him. Minos goes, we kind of have to because we made a deal with Poseidon and he's kind of a god, so lying to him would be bad. She goes, but I thought you loved me. And he goes, I do love you. She goes, if you loved me, you wouldn't kill the bull. And he goes, well, what am I supposed to do? She goes, I don't know. Use a different bull? He's like, what? She goes, take a different bull, paint it white, paint the horns gold, and then kill that bull, and he'll never know the difference. And Minos goes, he'll probably can tell when I walk out and one bull's like, nyah, and the other bull's like, nyah, he can tell the difference. She goes, wear a robe, walk out on your knees. The bull will look gigantic. He's like, genius. Okay. So they decide to go ahead and use the fake bull. Bring out this other bull, paint it all white, paint the horns all gold, and they take Freddie and they go and stick him in a barn somewhere. It's like, close the door, like, stay here. He's like, murr, like, shh, he's like, murr. And they go ahead and close him in there. Minos goes out there with his bull-killing dagger, and he takes a dagger, and he's like, with this gigantic sword, I'm going to kill this gigantic bull. And they're out there on the beach, and he's like, I offer this up to Poseidon, this really, really big bull. It's definitely not painted. And he takes the thing, stabs the bull, moo, 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 and kills the bull. Poseidon comes up out of the water. And as he steps up out of the water, he's like, thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. This sacrifice means a lot. What's that? And I was like, that's the bull. We killed him to you, big guy. All right, see you later. Take off. Poseidon's like, that's not my bull. He's like, yeah, definitely your bull. Poseidon goes, no, that's a little tiny bull, and it's painted. The paint's coming off. There's like a big brown spot on the side. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, definitely. Poseidon goes, that's my bull over there. And Freddie's like, like puts his head out. And he's like, oh, snap. Poseidon goes, were you trying to lie to me about the bull thing? And I was like, no, I would never lie. A little bit, yeah, there's definitely a little bit of lying involved. I'm sorry. And Poseidon goes, you should not have lied to me. And Minos goes, I know, I'm really sorry. He goes, no, you're not sorry yet, but you will be. He goes, one, you see the giant bull? And he's like, yeah, it's Freddie. Poseidon goes, what? He goes, my wife calls him Freddie. He's like, oh, Freddie. Yeah, Freddie is insane. And Freddie's eyes go brrr, and turn bright red, and he starts running around the island just stabbing people. And just children just stacked up on the horns as he goes running around. They're like, oh, it's a killer bull. Just stabbing children everywhere. In the Heracles story, his 8th labor, when it said he had to go get the killer bull of Crete, this is the killer bull of Crete that he had to go get. And Minos goes, oh, that is so awful. How dare you do that to Freddie? Poseidon goes, not done. Do you see your wife? Minos is like, uh-huh. He goes, do you see the fact that she's pregnant? Minos goes, uh-huh. Poseidon goes, curse baby, and starts kicking around inside and past me. He's like, I don't feel very well anymore. He goes, because you fell in love with my bull and your wife is pregnant, yeah, now you're going to have yourself a bull baby. And so he decides to curse Pasiphae to have a half-human, half-bull baby.
Oh my goodness.
And the half-human, half-bull baby's called?
Centaur.
Minotaur.
Centaur.
Close,
Minotaur.
but we're going to call it a minotaur. It's like a centaur, but pronounced differently. And it's called a minotaur, by the way, because who is the king it's used to torture?
Minos.
So that's why it's called a minotaur, because of King
centaur.
Minos. Was used to
Centaur is
torture.
half human, half horse. The minotaur is half bull.
The centaur was used to torture King Sintos. And so the minotaur. And so the minotaur, when it's born as a wee little half bull baby thing, comes out to make the curse even better. Only eats one thing. What's the only thing it'll eat?
Human.
You've seen these stories before. Only eats human flesh. They find out the hard way. The baby's born. The nurse is like, oh, she's like, ah! And she falls to the ground. It's like, nah, 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 nah. And like little legs go kicking everywhere. And so Minos is like, ooh, that's not going to go well. He thought about killing the baby, as we all do, but realizes that's not going to go well here because of who the baby's grandfather is. And who's the baby's grandfather?
Zeus.
So this baby is 1/4 God. So it's not going to be an easy thing to get rid of. So he decides to do the next best thing.
Trap it in a maze.
He takes his baby and throws it in the basement. Just like my childhood. And he takes the baby and he takes his old half-man, half-bull, people-eating baby and is like, phew! And he throws it in the basement and then shuts the door. Problem is, when the baby gets angry, it pounds on the wall and the whole palace shakes. Check it, check it, check it, check it. Goes back and forth. She's like, ew, we're going to have to feed this baby. So they feed the baby. But what they feed the baby is criminals from the island. Anytime you get in trouble for anything, any misdemeanor you have, if you go jaywalking, you would get sent to the Minotaur. If you look at your teacher wrong, sent to the Minotaur. Cheat on an assignment, sent to the Minotaur twice. And so it doesn't matter. Like, everything was like, oh. Yeah, they like let them nibble on you a little bit, pull you back out, put some band-aids on you, then throw you right back in. And you're like, oh, I should have only done it once. And so it was a horrible thing to do. And as the Minotaur gets older, King Minos realizes the kid needs to be entertained. So he goes, you know what? Just throwing the kid in the basement, not enough. So he goes back and talks to Daedalus, the inventor that built the little fake bull for Queen Pasiphae. And he goes, I need you to find a way to entertain my angry bull baby son thing. And he goes, oh, I have an idea. Let's build a maze underneath your palace for him to run around in. And we're going to call this maze
The labyrinth.
the Labyrinth. And he creates this labyrinth for the Minotaur to run around in. It works wonderfully up until the point where they start running out of people to throw into the maze. Because all the people on the island stop breaking any laws. Stop looking at each other. They're like, I'm not going to look at anybody because I don't want to get sent to the Minotaur. And so King Minos realizes he has to come up with another way of feeding his angry child. So what he does is the next best thing. He goes around and picks random fights with other countries. He just takes his little navy around, goes around to other countries, and he's like, hey, hi, Harry, what? You want us to attack? Okay. Like, what? No. He'd go ahead and start firing at them, and he started just picking random wars with anyone he could, took all of the prisoners of war, brought them back to his place. Then one day, one of King Minos' sons is going to a party in Athens, this other place that's way over here. And while his son is in Athens, his son dies from, I don't know, fell off a cliff or something like that, or headbutted a wall, whatever stupid kids do. But he died while he's at this party. King Minos is enraged. He goes to Athens to confront the king that's there, King Aegeus. He's like, King Aegeus, my son came here for a party and now he's dead. What are you going to do? And King Aegeus goes, say I'm sorry? Minos is like, not enough. Here's what I'm going to make you do. I'm going to make you give me 7 boys and 7 girls. And I'm going to take them back and feed them to my Minotaur other son. And King Aegeus goes, okay, that's fine with me. Because King Aegeus has no children of his own. And he doesn't want to get in a fight with King Minos. He's like, all right, we'll send you 7 boys and 7 girls. And Minos goes, and 9 years from now, you're going to have to do it again. And 9 years after that, you're going to have to do it again. Every 9 years, you're going to have to send me 7 boys and 7 girls so I can raise them like cattle and then feed them to my Minotaur baby. And King Aegeus goes, all right, that sounds like a fair deal. I'm in. Because once again, he has no kids. Like, oh, they're other people's kids. That's fine with me. So he goes ahead and agrees to it. Minos goes, oh, that worked out pretty well. All right, man, thanks. And they shake hands and things go well. Years go by. 9 years go by. Sends more. 8 years, 364 days go by, and it comes time to send the next wave. Before they get a chance to send the next group of kids, there is a knock on the door of King Aegeus, the king of Athens. He goes to answer the door, and there's some kid standing outside. And King Aegeus goes, who are you? The kid goes, my name is Theseus. I am your long-lost son from many, many years ago. And he explains this whole thing about how King Aegeus was once with his mom in this other area long ago, and King Aegeus, Gesundheit, can look at Theseus and like, oh, you look like me. It's like looking in a mirror of someone so much younger. That's adorable. And they hug each other. There's a little bro tap. Tap, tap. like, oh, I've missed you so much. And there's tears and stuff like that. And they go and watch Bambi together, and it's great. And he goes, hey, this is wonderful. And then while they're in the process of bonding and getting back together, all of a sudden, one of the king's messengers comes running in and goes, hey, boat's getting ready to leave. We're going to have to go send those 7 boys and 7 girls to go die. And the king goes, okay. And Theseus goes, what was that? And the king was like, well, we have to send these 7 boys and 7 girls to go get killed by this angry monster thing. It's nothing for you to worry about. You're my son. Theseus goes, I'm a hero. Why don't I go kill this monster? King Aegeus goes, no, I don't want you to do that. We just met. We just watched Bambi together. The last thing I want is for you to go out there and get killed. This is like some people-eating monster thing. You stay here. Theseus goes, no. I'm going to be one of the people that gets on this boat. So he goes down to the boat, picks up one of the random boys, throws him off the boat, and says, I'm going to go instead. And King Aegeus goes, all right, I can't stop you. Obviously, you're pretty strong. You just threw that kid pretty far. That's pretty impressive. So I'll let you go this time. But if you live, when you come back, I need you to turn the sails on the boat from black to white. That way I know when you return that you're still alive. And Theseus goes, all right, that sounds like a good deal. He goes, if I don't make it, and for some reason I get killed by this monster, the sails will still be black. And that way you'll know, before I return, whether or not I made it, it's good to go. Theseus and his father both hug each other. One more time, bro tap, tap. And Theseus sails off to the island of Crete. When he gets to the island of Crete, as soon as he gets there, King Minos' daughter, a girl by the name of Ariadne, falls in love with him immediately. His big hunky self walks in. And there we'll stop with this big hunky self, and you'll just have to figure out the rest of it on your own. Good luck!